Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the University of New Brunswick's 190th Encaenia. My name is Sarah Rothman, and I'm the Senior Director, Academic Success with Student Services. This is a really exciting day for our graduates and for all of you, too. The graduates are almost on their way down the hill, and before they arrive, I'd like to review just a couple notes for today's ceremony. To begin, please ensure that all cell phones and electronic devices are turned to silent. Please don't enter or leave the performance hall, this room, during the faculty and student procession, the time when students and faculty are coming into or leaving this hall. Only graduates and university officials are permitted on the stage during the ceremony, and guests are not permitted to come to the floor to take photos of graduates during the ceremony, but we will have 2 professional photos taken of each graduate as they receive their degree, one with the president and one with the dean of their faculty. Free print quality versions of these photos, along with video of today's ceremony, will be available to download soon from unb.ca/graduation. And finally, a university official will provide instructions in the unlikely event of an emergency evacuation. Thank you. Enjoy the day. It's a special one for all of us.
Simplissime Cancelari, Placetni tibi ut officium incipiat.
Plaquette.
Please remain standing for the prayer of invocation given by the Reverend Wilfred Langmaid, student advocate here at UNB.
Good morning. This is a very meaningful privilege that I have each year, particularly because I've had meaningful contact with so many of you who are reaching this beautiful milestone today. So I get the great privilege of being the first person to congratulate you. But my role is for us to simply reflect for a moment and prepare. I'm going to ask for you to stand silently and reflect before these grand celebrations with all the sights and sounds, all the ceremony and splendor, to just be and breathe within the context of your faith tradition, if you will. Take a moment right now to be aware of the simple fact that you're breathing. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Right here, right now. Thankful for this day. Thankful for those who have guided us on our way to this morning. Parents, family members, spouses, soulmates, children, faculty, staff, classmates. Thankful for the gifts that we've been given. Thankful for the opportunities we've been given. Thankful for the strength that we've shown. Thankful for this moment. In joyful anticipation of all that lies ahead. Amen.
Please be seated. We respectfully acknowledge that UNB stands on unsurrendered and unceded traditional Wolastoqey land. The lands of Wabanaki are recognized in a series of peace and friendship treaties to establish an ongoing relationship of peace, friendship, and mutual respect between equal nations. The river that runs by our university is known as Wolastoq, along which live Wolastoqey, the people of the beautiful and bountiful river. I'm pleased now to call upon Ramona Nicholas, our Gigi Deweenet, the knowledge keeper, to deliver a traditional Wolastoqey welcome.
Willie Subwell, I just wanted to say good morning to everybody. It's an exciting and a proud moment for all the graduates here today. I just wanted to say, Willie Gazette, good job, and that I wanted to say thank you to Eddie for the acknowledgement. I'm going to open with a song. The song is the Wolastoq song, and it's a song that was translated by the late Gwen Bear, who was the first elder in residence here at UNB, and I just wanted to give honor to her and to the ancestors. Stop. So I just wanted to wish you all the best of luck and a positive move forward. Believe in.
Thank you, Ramona. I'm going to take a moment here at the beginning of our ceremony to introduce the members of our platform party. I ask that you direct your attention to the screens on either side of the platform. Members of the platform party include our Chancellor, members of the Board of Governors, our honorary degree recipient, professors emeriti, deans, faculty, and staff. I'm Eddie Campbell. I'm the President and Vice Chancellor of your university. Thank you all for being here as part of this very special day. Mr. Chancellor, members of the Board of Governors, distinguished guests, graduates, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 190th Encaenia of the University of New Brunswick in Fredericton. Encaenia is a Greek word meaning Festival of Founders. The University of New Brunswick is one of the only institutions in North America to call its spring graduation ceremonies Encaenia. Indeed, the Canadian Oxford Dictionary says that there's only two other universities that use this reference, the University of King's College in Halifax and Oxford University in England. The idea of Encaenia is more than a graduation. It is a dedication ceremony, a ceremony dedicated to you, our newest and honored graduates. As you embark on your life, full of hopes and dreams, you will find that life is full of challenges. The playing field is rarely even, and life is not fair. But just as there are challenges, you'll have many opportunities, and it will be up to you to seize them and make the most of them. You'll not always succeed, but you must not be afraid to fail. You never know what greatness or what happiness you will find if you take on the unexpected. Already, all over the world, UNB graduates are making a difference. They are creating positive change in their local and global communities, and today, as graduates, you follow in their footsteps. In many ways, they have carved the way for you, and you must be conscious of the role you play in carving the way for those who will follow you. I urge you to remember that learning is a lifelong endeavor. It's not something that will stop as you leave us. It's my hope that you will continue to be curious, to learn from those around you, and to strive for greatness in everything that you do. It's truly an honor for all of us to be a part of one of the biggest and proudest moments of your life, and I assure you, you can expect many more such moments. But I want to pause here. In addition to honoring you, our graduates here today, I think we should take a moment to remember that very few of you got here on your own. We'd like you to remember to honor your parents, partners, family members, friends, all of those who supported you in arriving at your success today. They too share in your accomplishments, and I'd like you to give them a round of applause, graduates, please. You are the class of 2019. You have worked hard and earned your place in the University of New Brunswick's rich history, and we are all very proud of you. We are honored and flattered and delighted to be among the very first to extend to you our congratulations. Let me now draw your attention to page 20 of the program. The medals listed there will be presented during our Encaenia ceremonies. All other medals and prizes appear below the recipients' names in the graduation list, and those medals and prizes were presented at faculty awards ceremonies, or they can be picked up at the respective faculties. On behalf of the university, I want to congratulate all the recipients of these medals and prizes. I want also to express our expectation and our hope that you will always maintain the high standards that you have exhibited in qualifying for these awards. I'm now going to ask our Vice President Academic, Dr. George McLean, to assist our Chancellor, Dr. Alison McCain, with the presentation of medals.
Through the generosity of Her Honor the Lieutenant Governor, a silver medal is awarded each spring to the outstanding graduating student in each of the faculties on the Fredericton campus. At this ceremony, we will present the medals in Arts, Law, and Renaissance College. I would ask each recipient to come up to the platform as your name is called to receive your medal from the Chancellor. The Lieutenant Governor's Silver Medal in Arts is awarded to Bryn Trofimuk. The Lieutenant Governor's Silver Medal in Renaissance College is awarded to Austin Henderson. And the Lieutenant Governor's Silver Medal in Law is awarded to Margaret Collins.
At this time, we will confer the honorary rank of Professor Emerita. The candidate will be presented by Dr. McLean. George.
The Professor Emeritus distinction is awarded only to retired faculty members. Criteria for the honorary rank include teaching performance of exceptional merit, extensive research, publication of unusually high quality, creative contributions to the administration and development of the university, and a record of professional conduct that indicates fair and ethical treatment of students and other members of the academic community. Candidates must be approved by the university's Board of Governors. It is my pleasure to ask Dr. Nancy Nason-Clark to stand. And I would now like to call upon Dr. Lucia Tremonti, Associate Professor and Chair of Sociology and a colleague of Dr. Nason-Clark's, to read her citation.
Nancy Nason-Clark to be Professor Emerita in Sociology. Professor Nancy Nason-Clark, a sociologist of religion and a Fellow of the Royal Society of Canada, has pioneered the academic study of the response of the religious leaders and congregations to domestic violence. She applied revolutionarily the science of sociology of religion to unveil how the dynamics of power and control originate violence in the family and against women. In her 11 books, 45-plus book chapters, 40-plus scholarly peer-reviewed articles, and 200-plus conference presentations, she challenged conventional theories and offered strategies for transforming vulnerability and resiliency in both the abuser and the abused. In 2017, Dr. Nason-Clark was inducted as a Fellow of the Royal Society of Canada. Since 1882, this has been a peer-elected award for scientists, artists, and scholars recognized as being the best in their field and having made remarkable contributions to Canadian public life. She serves as elected president of the Society for the Scientific Study of Religion from 2015 to 2018. Her legacy has grown across all continents, and her inquiry and findings have and will shape the social and political arenas for decades. She has occupied elected prestigious positions in her field of research. She is also the founding director of RAVE, a UNB-based religion and violence e-learning project which aims to assist families of faith impacted by abuse. She was recognized in 2013 with the Muriel McQueen Ferguson Foundation Award. In parallel with this stunning research career, she served as acting director of the Muriel McQueen Ferguson Center for Family Violence Research, as acting associate dean of the Faculty of Arts, and chair of the Sociology Department for 8 years. Dr. Nancy Nason Clark is an accomplished and appreciated professor and a mentor. Her ability and effectiveness in these areas have been recognized by the UNB President's Medal, the Faculty of Arts Teaching Award, and the Alan P. Stewart Excellence in Teaching Award. Graduate students and younger colleagues constantly benefit from her generous mentoring, which often goes beyond their training and junior years at UNB. Nancy Nason Clark is most deserving of the honor of Professor Emerita at the University of New Brunswick.
Insignissime praeses, amplissime cancelleri, toto universitas, commendo vobis Nancy Nason Clark, ute confederatus honoris causa titulum ac statum professoris emeritae un studis sociologicus un hac universitate.
Ego confero vobis Nancy Nason Clark, obinera tia huic universitati Dio, et exignitur explita titulum ac statum professoris emeritae in studiis sociologicus in Universitati New Brunswick. We will now proceed to the conferring of an honorary degree. The recipient will be presented by orator Dr. Gwendolyn Davies.
Catherine Ann McCain, to be Doctor of Letters. A native of Florenceville, New Brunswick, Catherine McCain attended Havergal College in Toronto before graduating from the University of New Brunswick with a degree in sociology. Positions in human resources and the investment business took her to Halifax and the United Kingdom after graduation, although Toronto was eventually to become her permanent home base. There, she has been actively involved in educational organizations, serving as the sometime director of the Havergal College Foundation, as vice chair of Pathways to Education, and as a member of the Quadrangle Society of Massey College, the University of Toronto's prestigious research and graduate institution. She has also been active on the National Board of the Nature Conservancy of Canada and is an honorary member of the Conservancy's Atlantic Regional Board. And in 2008, she was made a Fellow of the Royal Canadian Geographical Society. In 2012, Catherine McCain received the Queen Elizabeth II Diamond Jubilee Medal for her contributions to Canadian society. However, throughout her national activities, Catherine McCain has never stepped far from her New Brunswick roots, or from the social principles of McCain Foods Limited, the frozen food company founded in Florenceville in 1957 by her father and uncles. Although McCain's has become an international company in the years since its inception, with production facilities all over the world, it has always sustained a strong focus on its Atlantic Canada antecedents. As chair of the McCain Foundation, the philanthropic arm of the company, Catherine McCain for 20 years oversaw McCain's national and regional grant decisions, including funding for provincial recipients such as the Beaverbrook Art Gallery, the St. John Regional Hospital, and the University of New Brunswick. As a loyal graduate of UNB, Catherine McCain has also been selfless in devoting countless hours of expertise to assisting the social and academic mission of the institution. A member of the UNB Board of Governors since 1998, she has at various times been the chair of the Advancement, Finance, Nominating, and Review Committees, respectively, while also, in addition, becoming a member of the Executive and Audit Committees. In 2012, she took on the enormously time-consuming and diplomatic task of being UNB's chair of the Board of Governors. In the words of her colleagues, she has consistently brought experience, clear insights, and dedication to her various roles on the UNB board, including service on the cabinet of the university's fundraising campaigns, Forging Our Futures, and It Begins Here. In recognition of her contributions to the university, she received the Alumni Award of Honor in 2010, and in 2017, she was named a University Governor Emerita. Throughout Catherine McCain's career, she has been variously associated with educational organizations or societies. Of these, the University of New Brunswick has indisputably benefited from her generous commitment of time and expertise and experience. In acknowledge of her skillful and astute leadership, it is therefore a marked pleasure for the University of New Brunswick to bestow the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa, on Catherine Ann McCain. Insignissimi praeses, implissime cancellare, tota universitas, praesento vobis Catherinam Annam McCain, ut amitator honoris causa ad gradum doctoris in litteris in Universitata Novi Brunswicki.
Ego admitto te, Catherine Ann Annam McCain, honoris causa ad gradum doctoris in litteris in Universitati Novi Brunswicki. It is now my privilege and a great pleasure to invite Dr. Catherine McCain to address this Encaenia.
Chancellor McCain, President Campbell, governors, faculty, students, family, and friends. Good morning. It is great to look out across this class of 2019. All of you so full of excitement, hope, and promise. Now what? Now what are we going to do? I am here to tell you that you have, by virtue of your UNB degree, a solid foundation on which to build your future. While this education is not the only foundational piece, it is the one we are here to celebrate today. When I graduated from UNB a very long time ago, the students of the day were just like you, full of hope, excitement, and promise. I remember the procession down the hill to the Lord Beaverbrook Rink, which was the scene of the 1972 graduation. Let me describe for you what it felt like for me. It was hot, very, very hot. It was sweltering. Crowding into the LBR that May day were graduates and friends and families. There wasn't an empty seat to be had. There was a buzz of conversations, emotional goodbyes, good lucks, and let's stay in touch. All faculties graduated in a single ceremony. I believe it took about 4 hours to get through that. Today, we are blessed to have this spectacular space for our thankfully shorter ceremonies. Many of you will already have your plans in place to begin the next phase of your life. You may even have a job. But I am quite certain that there are among you several with no clear plan forward. I would have been that student. I definitely had no clear path. So in the first 5 years after graduation, I made stops at an investment firm, a short social services career as manager of a women's residence. I lived abroad for a year where I worked in a bank, and I ended up back here in Canada with my own retail gift business. Every stop I made on my journey to find my way used some part of the knowledge I had gathered here at UNB. And what I learned was that each of those short steps, diverse as they were, tested an interest for me and added to my foundation. Now here's a question for you. Many of you today are graduating with an arts degree, or perhaps you entered law school with an arts degree in hand. So what about an arts degree? Where does that take you these days? A good friend of mine, a history professor, not here at UNB, who has spent his life in academia, would say that it is the best degree in the world because it can take you anywhere. You will find people with an arts education in all kinds of careers and workplaces. There's always a role to be played by an arts grad, but sometimes it is just not obvious. I read recently that Steve Jobs said, quote, "It is in Apple's DNA that technology, married to the liberal arts, married with the humanities, that yields us the result that makes our hearts sing." That is quite a statement and fits right into our world of focus on STEM education. STEM is the acronym for science, technology, engineering, and math. STEM skills are in huge demand today to meet our rapidly growing technology and innovation agendas. But more recently, some of you will have heard the acronym STEAM, and that is STEM with an A added for arts. Leaders in STEM fields are beginning to realize that those individuals with arts backgrounds will often provide a perspective which will strengthen the decisions they make in their science-based world. My point, there is a place for each of us. So, we need you. We need your communication skills. We need your research skills. We need your interpretive skills. We need your interpersonal skills. We need your writing and speaking skills, not to mention your thinking skills. They will all be needed in this increasingly diverse world we live in. You will have heard from the citation today about what I have done to get here today. Ultimately, I discovered my greatest opportunities and interests in the service and volunteer worlds. That was the game changer for me. I think it could be said that volunteering and service is what I do. One opportunity has led to the next. The two most impactful roles I played have been with the McCain Foundation and then UNB. There have been and are several other causes I'm involved with, and I will continue with such endeavors as long as I am able. It is incredibly gratifying to be involved as a volunteer. Now, full disclosure here, I wasn't much of a student during my time here, but I had a great time during the 4 years and 3 summers I was here. As you heard, I did graduate with a BA, but it was really several years later that I earned what I considered to be my UNB education. Working on the Board of Governors through the various committees, and finally as board chair, that was where I received my education. While there were no exams, I was tested thoroughly and regularly. Experiential education. I don't think we knew much about experiential learning in those days. I would like to think that had that been available to me, I might have had a much prettier outcome. And finally, I encourage you to be engaged with your community in some form of volunteer work or service. It will enrich your life, and I would suggest it will also positively impact your career. There are volunteers needed absolutely everywhere. Just look around and step up. You will be glad you did. I truly hope that you find or make your career opportunities here in New Brunswick and be part of making our province the best it can be. There's a world of opportunity here just waiting for your generation of young people to make it happen. UNB was recently voted the most entrepreneurial university in the country. So, maybe you will follow in the footsteps of other successful maritime entrepreneurs and make your own mark. Thank you to UNB for this huge honor, and congratulations to you, the class of 2019. I am proud to be among you. And now it's time to make your family proud, pick up your degree, and take the step. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. We will now proceed to the conferring of degrees in course. May I extend to all of you who will graduate here today the warmest congratulations of your university. When you first came here as a student, you became a member of the UNB family, and today all of this family, teachers, colleagues, friends, administrators, have gathered here with you to share in your pride in reaching this important milestone in your life. We are here to recognize your hard work and your sacrifice. We are here to wish you every success and happiness in the future. We hope that you will always value what you have learned here, and we hope that you will forever remember your alma mater with fondness and with affection. We will begin with the bachelor's degrees, to be followed by the master's and doctoral degrees. Candidates for the bachelor degrees will be presented by the orator.
The bachelor's degrees of Arts, Applied Arts, Juris Doctor, Philosophy, and Integrated Studies. Candidates will remain seated for the supplication. Insignissime praeses, amplissime cancelleri, supplicant senatui et vic venerabili collegio gudnumatorum. E baccalaureus vel scholores in facultate artium, in facultate legis, in collegium restaurationis, quorum nomina ex studia iam riti cognuta sunt et promulgata, ut habitantur et proprium baccalauri gradum in sua quisque facultata.
Placetni vobis senatores, placetni gubernatores, uti supplicatoris admittantur.
The supplicants for the aforesaid bachelor's degrees will now stand for presentation by the orator and admission by the president. Insignissime praeses, amplissime cancelleri, Tota universitas praesento vobis hosce supplicatoris in supra dictus facultatibus, ut admittanter ad proprium baccalaureate gradum in sua quisque facultata, testorca ilios quod omnia quae statuta nostra requirent, aptos et idoneos esse.
Ego admitto vos ad gradum baccalaureae in Universitati New Brunswick.
You will now proceed in your assigned order onto the dais for individual acceptance. The Dean of Arts, Dr. Joanne Wright, will present the Bachelor of Arts diplomas. Bachelor of Arts with honors, first class honors. Caitlin Emily Altman. Isaac James Barkley. Victoria Ashley Clowater. Emma Grace Donnelly. Perry Everett Dykens. Jillian Marie Flick. Olivia Lawrence Frigo. Samantha Angela Goodwin. Michaela Virginia Igaric. Seisha Raja Iyengar. Zoe Louise Jackson. Erica Marie McDougall. Taylor Lane McCauley. Rowan Patrick Jollian Miller. Shaughnessy Carolyn Murray. Kevin Gaston Louillette. Shayna Lee Perry. Declan Reese Watson. Bachelor of Arts with Distinction, Tiffany Nicole Adams. Maxwell Orestes Francione. Gi-Won Kim. Luisa Maria Lima do Nascimento. Holly Ruth MacArthur. Sarah Diane Purcell. Sean Sedon. Aaron Lacey Sodden. Bryn Marie Troffic. Claire Eve Vesna. Bachelor of Arts, First Division, Shandvi Bell. Marisa Ray Dawn Boone. Jamie Brianna Parker. Lisa Rose Paul Elias. Bachelor of Arts, Haley Patricia Adams. Hafsa Ahmed. Whitney Caitlin Benoit. Matthew Adam Bohm. Tessa Nicole Boyenton. Kristen Margaret Briggs. Emily Patricia Burton. Micah Daniel Carey. Matthew Ryan Deering. Haley Letitia Doak. Thomas Gordon. Keegan Cochran Gray. Bradley Robert Raymond Henstock. Nicholas Ray Keene. Shannon Emily Janine Hogans. Mackenzie Marshall Kierstead. Luke Alexander Lee Knight. Ashley Kathleen McCollum. Samantha Grace Messer. Evan Thomas Vincent Muse. Megan Mary Jean Murphy. Jennifer Lynn Murray. Nicholas George Pearden. Madison Lynn Pelham. Sylvie Natasha Pepper. Mitch Joseph Rayner. Catherine Lee Richard. Lauren Jeanne Claire Ryan. Rachel Catherine Sanford. Bryce Duncan Scott. Jason Allen Simpson. Summer Faith Stewart. Turner William Sturgeon. Claudine Anne-Marie Sullivan. Sarah Lorraine Thompson. Bachelor of Applied Arts, First Division, Gorichia Barugia. Zoe Anna Chesigay. Bachelor of Applied Arts, Bailey Bryn Forward. Nathan Alexander Gaffney. Aaron Ashley Valley. Catherine Alyssa Valley. This concludes the granting of the Bachelor of Arts degrees. The Dean of Law, John Klefeld, will present the Juris Doctor. Juris Doctor with distinction, Margaret Taylor Collins. Adrian Ronald Forsythe. Margaret Jane Grimmer. Colleen Thrasher. Juris Doctor, Rachel Marion Ledwell Anstey. Brianna Catherine Berry. Nushka Blay. Robert David Bradley. Gareth Workman Bryden. Stephen Gerard Bryan. Michaela Philomena Brophy. Claire Christina Brown. Patrick John Cahill. Anne-Marie Kathleen Campbell. Morgan Elizabeth Chafe. Jacob Chi. Dylan Watkins Cody. Madeline Elizabeth Coates. Tanisha Dorothy Lynn Conley. Elsie Daniels Marion Daou. Kyle Bernard Davenport. Lucia DeMeo. Nicholas Dominique DePiano. Adam Neil Foote. Amanda Jane Forsey. Deanna Larissa Gerber. Sarah Maria Giambardino. Michael James Gooding. Christopher Goodridge. Lauren Jessie Haas. Joshua Darce Hawsey. Michaela Anesta Hearn. Emily Catherine Horner. Mark William James. Blake Stewart Johnson. Kate Macaulay Jurgens. Colin Patrick Kennedy. Mitchell Darren King. Tyler William Knox. Courtney Ann Taylor Lozier. Lucas James MacArthur. Evan Sean McKay McKnight. Christopher Jeffrey Manning. Alexander Hugh McKinnon. Robert Vincent McNarty. Caroline Ann Malloy. Victoria Helen Morrissey. Rebecca Lois Munden. Matthew Alexander Orrell. Alexander Michael Pate. Sarah Ellen Davidson Peel. Mark Daniel Peltier. Matthew Joseph Poirier. James William Elijah Bush Prophet. Jessica Nicole Renault. Shabnam Riatsi. Drew Davis Ritchie. Andrew Skinner Ryan. Mary Serena Lee Smith. Jordan Corey Stephen. Carolyn Patricia Suley. Chad Stephen Thane. Lauren Elizabeth Truman. Brandon Charles Walzak. Miriam Adan Whalen. David Murray Wheatley. Okay. Lukasz Maciek Wojciechowski. Jacob Elijah Zellman. This concludes the granting of Juris Doctor. The Dean of Renaissance College, Dr. Paul Howe, will present the Bachelor of Philosophy and Bachelor of Integrated Studies diplomas. Bachelor of Philosophy, First Division, Allison Margaret Balcom. Samuel Alexandre Crete. Sarah Margaret Dale. Claudia Paris Dubé. Craig Ryan Fernandez. Austin Jeffrey Henderson. Chloe Victoria Jardine. Mackenzie Justin George Jeffries. Madison Blair Kenny. Cameron Ash Lane. Duke Hong Lei. Lydia Catherine McLeod. Grace Alexandra Manguso. Chantel Jacqueline Masterson. Mallory Diana Murphy. Allison Kathleen Margaret Turner. Chloe Jean Weeb. Natasha Dumaric Williamson. Bachelor of Philosophy, Vanessa Lynn Boone. Anira Karis Hassan. Erin Mackenzie Lawton. Abraham Johann Frederick Lutz. Bachelor of Integrated Studies, First Division, Andrew Charles Baird. Louis-Philippe Leclerc. Melanie Roussel. This concludes the granting of the Bachelor of Philosophy and Integrated Studies degrees.
We will now confer the master's degree in course. The candidates will be presented by the Dean of Graduate Studies, Dr. Drew Rendell.
It's a pleasure to present the candidates for the master's degrees today. This morning, we will confer master's degrees as follows: Master of Arts, Master of Philosophy and Policy Studies, and Master of Interdisciplinary Studies. I'll ask the candidates to remain seated for this application. Insignissime praeses, amplissime cancellare, supplicant senatui et vic venerabile collegio gubernatorum, ibi baccalaureae vel scholares in facultate artium. Quorum nomino ac studia emerite cognita sut et promulgata, ut admittantur ad proprium magister gradum in sua quisque facultate.
Placetni vobis senatores, placetni gubernatores, ut hi supplicatoris admittantur.
Placet. To ask the supplicants for the aforesaid master's degrees now please to stand for admission by the President. Insignissime praeses, amplissime cancellare, tota universitas, praesento vobis oce supplicatores in supradictus facultatibus, ut admittantur ad proprium magister gradum in sua quisque facultate. Testorque illos quo alumnia quae statuta nostra requirant, aptos et idoneos esse.
Ego admitto vos ad gradum magistri in Universitati Novi Brunswicki.
I'd invite you to join us now on stage for individual acceptance. Students will be presented with their master's diplomas by Dr. Mary McKenna, Assistant Dean in the School of Graduate Studies. For the degree of Master of Arts, Sobamate Jean Amakre. Catherine Sarah Davidson. Jessica Ashley Hinton. Ting Yi Lee. Yan Hong Lee. Tong Liu. Catherine Grace McDonald. Emily Elizabeth McPherson. Emmanuel Tochukwu Ogbu. Xiaochen Shi. Qian Yu Sun. Zihan Wang. For the degree of Master of Interdisciplinary Studies, Deanna Michelle Musgrave. Nicole Sarah Teram. This concludes the granting of master's degrees.
We'll now confer the degrees of Doctor of Philosophy. The candidates will be presented by Dr. Rendell.
It's an additional special pleasure to present the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, the highest academic degree awarded at a university. I'd ask the candidates please to stand for the supplication. Insignissime praeses, amplissime cancellare, supplicant senatui et vic venerabile collegio gubernatorum. Julie Renee Bull, Interdisciplinary Studies. Teresa Evelyn Margaret DeVore Hall, History. Mandy Lee Fulton, Clinical Psychology. Michelle Rose Willette Greason, Interdisciplinary Studies. Philip Andrew Lambert, Interdisciplinary Studies. Francis Thomas Lavandier, Sociology. Magisteri vel baccalauri ut admintantur ad gradum philosophiae doctores.
Placetni vobis senatores, placetni gubernatores, uti supplicatores admittantur. I'd ask the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy please to just step forward before the dais for the admission. Insignissime praeses, amplissime cancellare, tota universitas, praesento vobis oce supplicatores in supra, ad gradum philosophiae doctores, testorque illos, qual omnia quae statuta nostra requirant, aptos et idoneos esse. Ego admitto vos ad gradum philosophiae doctoris in Universitati New Brunswick. I'd invite you now to join us on the stage for individual acceptance. To be Doctor of Philosophy in Interdisciplinary Studies, Julie Renee Bull, for a thesis entitled Relational and Reflexive Research, People's Policies and Priorities at Play in Ethically Approving Research with Indigenous Peoples. To be Doctor of Philosophy in Clinical Psychology, Mandy Lee Fulton, for a thesis entitled Quality of Life of School-Aged Children with Autism Spectrum Disorder, Factors that Predict Parents' Perspective.
To be Doctor of Philosophy in Interdisciplinary Studies, Michelle Rose Willette Greason for a thesis entitled Ethics in Long-Term Care, Exploring the Interaction Between Provincial and Organizational Policy and Frontline Ethical Decision-Making. To be Doctor of Philosophy in Interdisciplinary Studies, Philip Andrew Lambert for a thesis entitled Creativity and Innovation, a Complex Adaptive Systems Theory. To be Doctor of Philosophy in Sociology, Francis Thomas Lavandier, for a thesis entitled, wait for it, Role of Law, Settler Colonialism, and Overrepresentation of Indigenous Peoples in the Canadian Criminal Justice System, Implementation of Roe v. Gladue in Prince Edward Island. This concludes the granting of higher degrees.
Congratulations, graduates. Please note that an English translation of your diploma has been placed inside the folder behind the parchment in case you want to know what it says. I'd like to now invite Jill Jollino, President of UNB's Associated Alumni, to welcome our new alumni.
Chancellor McCain, members of the Board of Governors, Mr. President, honorees, and distinguished guests. Good morning, graduates. It is such a privilege to share this moment with you here at UNB, and congratulations on achieving this very important milestone. As you transition from students to graduates, you are joining an alumni family of 90,000 strong. Today, we have enlisted help from fellow members of this alumni family around the world to share a special welcome message with you. Please direct your attention to one of the two large screens.
When we say we're proudly UNB, we're not just saying we went there.
We're saying we're part of something. Something big, something strong, something deep, transformational.
Lifelong.
Something that has allowed me to take on the world, to discover my passions, strengths, to wake up every day and do what I love.
To be part of something special, a global community.
To network, socialize.
To celebrate our accomplishments together as UNB grads.
And now, it's your turn to make your mark.
Your connection to UNB is not something you leave behind you.
It's something you take with you.
Something you cherish and nurture.
Something you shine brightly. Something you say loudly.
Proudly. You are UNB's greatest ambassadors.
No matter where you go, who you meet, or what you do,
Stay connected.
UNB is a part of us, who we are, and who you've just become.
You will always be proudly UNB.
Welcome.
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 Welcome to the alumni family.
In 2000, the UNB Associated Alumni introduced a UNB tradition, the presentation of Alumni Pins to new graduates. We hope this pin will carry the individual memories of a life-changing experience at UNB and serve as a reminder that when you combine an ambitious goal and personal dedication, you can attain anything. Maybe more importantly, the pin is a symbol that you were, you are, and you will always be part of our family. We hope you will wear your pin with pride. We know you leave UNB with more knowledge, a greater sense of community, and the potential to make a significant difference in the quality of your own lives and the lives of those you touch as you take the next step in life's journey. UNB alumni are world-class leaders, innovators, healers, teachers, and pioneers. We know that you will make your own mark on the world, and we cannot wait to see what you will do. Congratulations on a job well done, and once again, welcome to the alumni family. I now invite members of our UNB alumni to present the 2019 UNB Alumni Pins to each of you. While we are here today to celebrate all of you graduates, I would like to make special mention of UNB President, Vice Chancellor, and recent alumnus, Dr. Eddie Campbell, who is stepping down as president this summer and graduating from UNB. This week marks his final Encaenia and convocation ceremonies after having presided over nearly 70 ceremonies in his 10 years as president of UNB. Thank you, Eddie, for your contributions and your leadership. We wish you all the best in your retirement.
Thank you very much, Jill. 10 years, slow learner. Again, this year, the graduating class has asked that the valedictory be presented at Encaenia. The valedictorian for this ceremony, Alison Balcom, is from Fredericton, and today she received her Bachelor of Philosophy in Interdisciplinary Leadership from Renaissance College with minors in Sociology and Business. Alison.
On our very first day here, 3 or 4 years at UNB seemed like a long time. 5 years and almost one grad ceremony later, we were right. Good morning, distinguished guests, Chancellor McCain, members of the Board of Governors, President and Vice Chancellor Campbell, faculty and staff, loved ones, friends, families, and please indulge me in saying, most importantly, fellow 2019 graduates of the University of New Brunswick. I will begin by thanking Ramona Nicholas for sharing a traditional Wolastoqey welcome. Moving forward from our collective progress towards truth and reconciliation, we now each bear an individual responsibility to carry reconciliation forward with us anywhere and everywhere we may go. For the first time, I truly understand the cliche of one sharing that they are both honored and humbled to speak before a crowd. There are no two better words to capture the feeling of standing here with 232 graduates who have each invested years of their lives culminating in this moment, and sharing this moment with the countless people who have been behind the scenes supporting us all along, and today emerge alongside us in celebration. Thank you does not begin to do justice the gratitude we have for all of you in this room. If we were feeling particularly mature and responsible upon graduation, we might ask ourselves what the world needs more of, how we can best contribute to progressing society, and confidently enter the world more educated and more sophisticated than we entered UNB. By transforming what years ago was an educational opportunity into an experience and qualification, we all leave UNB today with a degree. One of the most valuable things we've developed and leave UNB with, though, is a voice. Addressing the class of 2019 as a collective one last time, I will confront the paradox of how we must move forward, using our voices together as individuals. And I challenge all of us in using our voices not to apologize for two things. Firstly, we must never apologize for our arts, interdisciplinary, leadership, and legal or non-STEM backgrounds. Now, Catherine McCain and I weren't in cahoots when we prepared our speaking notes, but I'm glad we're on the same page here. The power of our education is well documented. However, we can feel defensive. I am surely not alone in experiencing the adverse reaction of some to hearing that I am studying an arts-oriented discipline in a world seemingly dominated by artificial intelligence, medical advancement, and technological innovation, developments portrayed in contrast to arts education. Let us consider for a moment, though, the world's most complex problems, which happen to be the most pressing. For example, climate change, reconciliation, and the defense of fundamental human rights. I'm sure each one of us in the room have one or several of these at times daunting problems that come to mind that we've become particularly passionate about over our time at UNB. These nuanced problems have several things in common, including that they do not have a linear solution, nor can they be fixed by STEM approaches alone. Albert Einstein once said, "Logic will get you from point A to B. Imagination will take you everywhere." These issues each require an interdisciplinary and creative approach. No scientific development can replace a humanist touch. I'm confident in saying that these issues necessitate problem solving, creative and critical thinking, empathy, and last but not least, something all of us in this room have been practicing throughout this ceremony, listening. These are the very skills we've been developing at UNB. The beauty of the East Coast is that whether you've spent your whole life here or just a few months or years, once you've arrived, you'll have a home here forever. We must never apologize for being Atlantic Canadian. Our UNB community, composed of individuals from across the country and world, can be characterized by an indisputable togetherness. Together, we have endured and weathered the stormiest of winter days, late nights, endless assignments. Together, we have rejoiced over the sun returning and the snow in the quad finally melting just in time for us to leave for the summer. Together, we've learned, lived, and loved, too. Each of us can conjure up a moment or memory when we realize that one of our classmates, neighbors, professors, or most disturbingly, the person in line behind us at Tim Hortons in the sub was much more closely connected to us than we had initially realized. And the concept of 6 degrees of separation here became just 1 or 2. UNB is smaller than it was when we crossed the stage at commencement, because now our people are here. We're all familiar with the inferiority rhetoric that plagues our region and province. It is impossible to deny that we have deep and troubling problems that are disproportionate to our size on the map. What has become elusive to the rest of the world, however, is that some of our perceived weaknesses are our greatest strengths. The word networking can make us non-business majors squirm, but to us, connecting comes naturally. There is a proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. The global problems previously considered surely require a together approach to take us far. Here, as Atlantic Canadians, we have a valuable perspective and important insight to offer. Learning together, being in this room together, sharing our voices together can take us far. Moreover, as graduates from the University of New Brunswick, our degrees make us ambassadors of this province. We must use our voices to strengthen, rather than fragment, our province and reputation. I'm sure many of us here have begun to reflect on our time spent at UNB. Reflection is interesting, for it reveals moments we had not at the time considered to be symbolic, transformative, or important to be just that. 2 years ago, I traveled to one of the smallest, most reclusive countries in the world, the Kingdom of Bhutan, nestled in the Himalayas between China and India. Upon arrival, one of the first individuals we encountered was the Minister of Immigration. Naturally, with our passport holders in tow, he asked us where we were from. We replied, Canada, thinking our job and purpose here was to simply clarify that we were not American. To our surprise, though, he quickly responded, the only place in Canada I know is New Brunswick. For the first time, but not the last, I proudly, rather than defensively, rather than apologetically, identified as a New Brunswicker, a University of New Brunswicker. Throughout my internship in Bhutan over the next few months, where I could not find cell phone service, I could instead locate a UNB alumni news magazine to keep myself entertained. And at times when I could not locate myself on Google Maps, I could instead walk across town and find someone proudly wearing a UNB hoodie to orient myself. It struck me then that once we move beyond these red brick buildings, we no longer carry with us the metaphorical safety net of UNB Fredericton's campus that we've come to know and love, but expose ourselves to a much wider, a much vaster network of UNB alumni. Alumni who have stepped forth, often proudly equipped with a law, arts, interdisciplinary, or leadership degree, and always with a New Brunswick background. Although what we've learned in class has been valuable, it's also about what we've learned that hasn't been taught, what we've come to know ourselves. Our time at UNB has felt like a marathon at points during final season, and at others just like a 100-meter dash during syllabus week at the cellar, perhaps. Moving forward, I challenge all of us not to take the days, months, or years for granted. Life is short. Moments like this, we must look to those we love and express our gratitude, and remember all of those who contributed to our success without being able to share this moment with us too. Some of them are with us via the live stream, and others we carry with us in our memories, personalities, worldviews, work ethics, and hearts. Life is short, but standing here, seeing individuals who have conquered obstacles that once felt insurmountable, it is impossible to think that life is anything less than rich and joyful too. Graduation serves as a tribute to countless hours of hard work and a transition from the students we've been to the citizens and adults we soon will be. Some of us are already adults and citizens too, but you know. It helps us understand our time at UNB as it transitions from a home to a memory. UNB is now part of each of our stories. Many of us share the same characters and conflicts too. The opening pages of our stories have now been written, and I hope that UNB serves not only as a common setting, but a common theme as we move through each of our next chapters. Once we move beyond UNB, its shortcomings are no longer purely ours to criticize, nor are its victories purely ours to celebrate. It is now upon us as individuals, equipped with an education, to use our voices and shape an equitable, diverse, and inclusive future for all, tackling some of the most complex problems the world has ever seen. One of my favorite childhood characters, Winnie the Pooh, put it so perfectly. How lucky I am to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard. We leave today as individuals, but part of our identity will forevermore be this collective, UNB. Congratulations. Whether your role here has been educating us, supporting us, or graduating today, we have made it. If you've paid any attention to my UNB news, or perhaps more likely our Instagram favorite, @UNB memes throughout the years, you will be familiar with the hashtags #OnlyHere and #ItBeginsHere campaigns. I'll leave you with this. It begins here, but it does not end here. Thank you.
Thank you, Allison. Every year since she took up her term of office, our Lieutenant Governor has been able to join us here at our convocation ceremonies because she puts such high value on education and on our graduates. She's unable to join us this year by reason of ill health, and I hope you will all spare a moment just to think of her and send her your thoughts and prayers. On behalf of the Chancellor, the Board of Governors, the Senate, and the faculty and the staff, I extend to all who have received their degrees here today our most sincere congratulations on your achievement and our very best wishes for the future. It's time for a few thank yous before we end our ceremonies. Thank you to the St. John String Quartet, David Adams, Danny Samich, Chris Buckley, Sonia Adams, trumpeter Robert Dutton. Thank you. There is a small army of volunteers and staff who try to make this ceremony go as smoothly as possible for our graduates and those who are able to join us. Could we have a round of applause to thank them, please? At the conclusion of the ceremony, you are all cordially invited to join an Encaenia tea in the Alberta Alumni Recreation Center on the first floor of this building. A photo booth has been set up there for you to capture more memories with your family and your friends. It's now my pleasure to invite Sarah Giambardino, who graduated with her Juris Doctor today, to come onto the platform and lead us in the singing of O Canada. I ask that everyone please rise and remain standing until the academic procession has left.
Embrasse, portez les